Hello, fellow Mezconians, and welcome to the very first episode of The Breakdown. You always remember your first, right? Now, this came to me in the mail about 1 week and 12 hours ago. But the sticker's obviously a dead giveaway, but what could it be?
Fragile. It must be Italian.
Well, I think that says fragile.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not, but Christmas did come a little bit early this year because the good people at Mezco Toyz were kind enough to send me a little bit of a surprise. Oh, look at this. It's a little note. Let's see what it says. Since the dawn of time, human beings have painted pictures on walls to share stories and experiences of their generation. That tradition is still practiced and has even more impact today. Graffiti has evolved from vandalism into street art, a visual form of self-expression, but also a way to give back through artwork that uplifts and inspires, creating a positive connection between artists and their communities. Okay, truth be told, none of that was on there. The paper's actually blank. There's nothing on it. I just need a little bit of a transition from the time I opened the box to the time I revealed it. So that's what that was for. Yep, smoke and mirrors, guys, smoke and mirrors. But with that, I present to you guys the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective exclusive Vapor from the Hoodz line. Mezco Toyz had already planted themselves in the hip-hop community with the Notorious B.I.G., but they further deepened those roots back in 2002 by designing and developing the Hoodz series line. And in case you didn't know, they are the underground new school masters of urban art. Creeping into the shadows, leaving their mark on society, their signature is their claim to fame. Recognized by their style and known to everyone as Hoodz. Now, before you jump on eBay and you try to backtrack, you gotta know that there's a whole bunch of exclusives and variants for this line. There was the Tower Record and Hong Kong exclusives, the Entertainment Earth's Writer's Block, and the Club Mez and Sprite Remix variants. So Mezco is pretty much revisiting this line and essentially remixing their own property, and I think that has a lot of potential. Now, from the intro, I don't know if you've noticed, but I do talk a lot. I'm very aware of that. But I feel the more information that you have, the better choice that you'll have to see if this figure is right for you and your collection. So what I did was I created some timestamps so you can jump into the sections that you're most interested in. You're welcome. Taking a look at the packaging and presentation, Vapor comes in the standard lunch pail format. It's different from the Stealth Ops Gomez. It more follows the Gold Mez and Nosferatu lunch pail design. The first thing that stuck out to me was the exclusive sticker, just like always. It kind of grabs your attention, but there's also a smooth transition from the street art leading to the first character of the Hoodz line. Now, I say that because you should always try to put things that you want to see into the universe so they can happen. And I would say after about a week of hands-on time with this figure, I would really like to see how they would do the rest of the crew. Now, the L-Train artwork wraps around the pail leading to the two latches, where once you flip those open, you will see the 3 trays that contain the accessories, and of course, the main character, which is Vapor. Now, the first thing that jumped out to me in tray 1 was the heads. Immediately, the character's personality is showcased through this range of emotions for each one of the head sculpts. First is the pre-packed, semi-neutral with a dash of attitude head sculpt. Next is the smiling, "It wasn't me, Officer Ricky" head sculpt. After that, you get the angry pink skulls just tagged over my face head sculpt. And the fourth and final head sculpt looks like a facial expression like he just saw an L train or a white wall that he could tag. Or this could just be the face that he makes before his angry one. Whatever it is, I can see this becoming like a meme or a gift in the groups. These heads, like I said, have a lot of range and a lot of potential. The next thing that grabbed my attention was the +1 set of Doc Berlins. That's right, I said Doc Berlins. And Air Geralds. That's what I'm calling them. Yeah, so I'll be using those generic names for these kicks, but we all know and love these shoes, and I think anybody that's a sneakerhead or into fashion will be able to absolutely tell what brand of shoes that these are. And there is also a plethora.
Would you say I have a plethora?
Yes, I said plethora. Leading to the main event, which is Vapor himself. Don't worry, I promise we'll go over a head to toe of him a little bit later in the video. Now, the second tray is kind of an homage to the original figures, where you get some of the items that the 7-inch series came with. First off, we have the headphones, which personally I've been waiting for them to do. They are colorful and pliable, and they're made with kind of like a semi-firm plastic. This set of ear candy sits firmly on the ears, and it also has the freedom and space to be layered with the other attachments, such as the New York City hat, the hoodie, and the baklava. Next, you will get a functioning set of bolt cutters. A little bit of a fun fact for you. The original character came with a bat, but the remix character actually had bolt cutters. So, like I said before, I think it's kind of interesting because maybe there's a possibility that they'll do a variant in the future. You never know. Like I said, you want to put these things out in the universe so they can possibly happen, but you will get a set of functioning bolt cutters with this character. The weathering on this is really good, and I think that this is a nice little addition. Now, the bolt cutters will fit in the bag, but they slightly poke out. I couldn't think of a creative way to put them in or where to put them, but as another amazing reviewer pointed out to me, in the streets you carry it on you, or you place it between your back and the backpack. So a little bit of street knowledge. Thank you very much for that, sir. You also get Vapor's little black book. This is kind of like a character sign, spray paint stained. Now, this is something I can kind of see him carrying around to jot down like street art sketches on. The book is a solid piece and it does not open up, but who knows? Maybe if we get that remix version, it'll have one like Dr. Fate with some little pages on it. That would be kind of cool. But hey, this is actually a pretty cool piece to go along with it too. Next, you're going to get the NYC cap. Now, this is a New York Mezco inspired cap, and it's something that collectors got a little bit of a preview with Stinkle. The Stinkle cap was gray. I'm pretty sure that both of those can fit on this character. The hard plastic cap sits firmly on the head, and it works pretty well either front or rear facing. I wouldn't try to do it sideways. It looks a little bit weird. And also, it looks great layered with the hoodie jacket, the bubble vest, or the combination of all of them put together. Next, you have the gas mask. Now, the gas mask is a mixture of hard and soft plastic. The hard plastic is, of course, on the face shield. Medium plastic is for the strap. I guess we can call this the vapor mask. It fits very firmly over the face as well as on top of the head. Quick collector caution alert. Be careful with the strap. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the design or the materials. I can just see certain collectors not being experienced enough and probably pushing the strap a little bit too far, and it could possibly snap. Also, I would advise you to kind of be careful when removing the mask off the head. The mask sits very firmly, but I think over time, if you keep taking it on and off, the character's little flock fro, that's what I'm calling it. There's an official name, I'll tell you. But it will show signs of wear over time because you're taking it on and off and it does sit firmly. Something that can be easily remedied by just buying 2 of them, right? Right? Little plug. Vapor also comes with 3 Vandal Varnish spray paint cans, and they did go back and try to implement what they had in the original series with the shake-up feature. It's a simple feature that adds onto the accessory, and it's accomplished by you just shaking the can back and forth like you would a regular spray paint can. The spray paint cans also have removable caps. Now, the first time you try to take the cap off, you're going to notice it fits a little snugly. Easiest way to do it is to give it a little bit of a twist and then pull it off. You won't have any problems putting it on or off after that. You'll also notice that once you take it off, right where the spray paint nozzle is, there's a little bit of spray paint there. It's like a nice little added detail. Now you also get a set of marker mops. I am not a tagger, street artist, or a graffiti artist, so I had absolutely no idea what a marker mop was. It took me 4 times just to say marker mop in a correct way. But I was able to Google it like any normal person would, and I was able to find out that marker mops are also known as mop markers, dauber markers, mops, or squeezers. And these are markers that are used as a squeezable body that allow ink or paint to be pushed out of the marker nib, where writing the excess in paint or ink causes those fun little graffiti drips. So now you know. And the third and final tray is what I call the fly threads tray. Kicks are not the only thing that they gave Vapor. They went full Brooklyn style on this boy, and they gave this character his own hoodie, orange bubble coat, and a jacket. Now the hoodie is a single red pull-on with functioning drawstring, so you need to be very careful, because just like in real life, if you pull one string out of one side, you will have the hardest time trying to get that one string back in and through the loop again. Another stylish addition to this set is the orange coat vest, or the bubble coat with functioning zipper. The easiest way I found to zip this up and down is just by using your fingernail. Now, since this is a smaller item, it takes a little bit of field training to kind of like insert into the retainer box. But after a few times, it gets pretty easy. In order to avoid like the fabric from getting caught in the teeth, try holding the tape, that's the little piece of the material in between the jacket and the zipper, away from the zipper's teeth. There's also a bendy wire that's sewn into the bottom of the vest to kind of give you a little bit more shape and feel with the coat. The overcoat and jacket are kind of made of a thinner material, which works well with the layering scheme for the figure. It allows you to have 2 or 3 articles of clothing on, but not restrict the figure too much, so you can still get him in those decent poses. But I need to caution collectors, when you're layering too many articles of clothing and trying to hyper or dynamically pose this figure, you got to be careful, because you're going to seam stress or you're going to rip the material. Believe me, I have done it before. Allowing the material not to bunch up or gather decreases the chances of this happening. It also reduces fabric pinching, which I know a bunch of people have had before. This is where that material kind of sneaks into the joint when you're posing your figure. All you really have to do is gently tug a little bit on the fabric before you're pushing it to that point of articulation, and you should be good. Now, I know a lot of collectors point out that most of the material that Mezco uses looks baggy on their figures. But the things I mentioned are the reasons why clothes are designed to be a little bit looser. Skin-tight suits, they look cool. Over posing time, they lose their elasticity and will sag, and they will start looking baggy over time. That's a given. It's also an increase at the chance that those pinch or joint bite marks will happen. But luckily with this character, Vapor is rooted in hip-hop, and that's the aesthetic, and so it works out well with this character. Now, whether you're a single or 2-strapper, hopefully everybody got that 21 Jump Street reference, the backpack works either way for that street artist that's on the go. Opening the backpack is pretty easy, and the zipper function is pretty smooth. Pro tip, use your fingernail. Inside, you're going to see 2 little pieces of tombstone foam that helps retain the shape of the backpack. After you remove them, I highly suggest that you keep them. You can fit pretty much all the items utilizing the main part of the backpack for the bulk accessories and the side pockets for the mop markers. Again, I couldn't figure out where to put the bolt cutter, but you can place them in the backpack. They can be hanging out the side. You can put them on the top, or as my amazing friend told me, put it right in between the backpack and your back. Moving to the head and toe breakdown, and this is perfectly titled for this figure because what the flock is going on here? Not only is the color of the hair catchy to the eye, but the texture material that they use for the fuzzy fur works very well. Ooh. Again, the head sculpts are one of the highlights of the set. Neutral with a little bit of attitude, angry, surprised, shocked / scared. It gives this character options to be placed into a lot of different scenarios. One of the things that is often overlooked is the sculpting detail and the design that goes into the bodies. Now, of course, the reason for this is because of the soft goods, or they're kind of stitched all over it, and so collectors don't really get a chance to see the range that is there or understand the limitations that the points of articulation have because of the material that's being used over it. So stripping this little guy down, as far as I'm comfortable with, you can actually see the amount of time that was put into this body, as well as see the areas that you need to be aware of when you're posing the figure. Now, I'll go through a quick range of motion test with Vapor, but in short, the main area of concern for Mezco collectors have been taken care of. The figure does have double jointed elbows and double jointed knees, all that is there. There is a very good range of motion in the chest and ab area. Because of the swappable shoe design with the Air Geralds and the Dockerlands, those are the boots, the ankle range is a little bit limited. I think it's because of the new feature. It's something they're able to probably improve on later versions. Another area where the articulation range might be a little bit limited is in the head and neck area, specifically when he's trying to look back. But then again, that's where the ab and the chest area can come into play, and you can actually pull that back a little bit farther to be able to get those looking up looks. I think Mezco is trying to loosen up the reins on their designs when it comes to soft goods. In the past, we've gotten figures that only really allow you to take one or two articles of clothing off. But the recent releases, such as the Gomez of Death, have given collectors more kit bash creative freedom across the line. I will say that they nailed the saggy pants look. The pants, as far as I know, they're not intended to be removed, but I'm sure somebody will most likely do it or figure it out. But I like the little detail of them coming down just a little bit so you can see his underwear. Please, nobody take that wrong. Now, as I told you before, one of the new options available is the shoe swappability for this character. Now, experienced Mezco collectors have been swapping parts out for a while, especially shoes. All you're pretty much doing is utilizing the heat and pop method. Even though Mezco has added this feature, I would highly recommend...
We interrupt this review.
It's not a review. It's a breakdown.
Very well. Breakdown for a brief collector service announcement. Did you just purchase a brand new figure? Do you push your joints to the limit of a Mortal Kombat Test Your Might minigame? Just like anything in life, preparation before play is key. Before you pose, play, and display, make sure you wrap that thing up and get it wet. Using the hot drop method, you will ensure you and your figure have the best possible play session. Link in the description below. Back to you, Paige.
Thank you. So the shoes are fairly easy to pop on and off. I would highly recommend not only using the hot drop method, but also holding the leg around the calf area and giving a slight twist and pull. I didn't have any problems with mine out of the box, but I feel this kind of reduces the amount of stress that you'll put on the ball joint while taking the shoes on and off. And there you have it, fellow collectors, the newest member of the Rumble Society and the very first 112 collective member from the Hoodz line. I wanted to say thank you to Mezco Toyz for allowing me to get this ahead of time. I personally think that this figure is a welcome addition to my collection and has a lot of potential, not only with the Rumble Society and the Mezco line, but I can see and hope them utilizing this body for other characters such as Robin, Miles Morales, Johnny Quest, Kick-Ass, maybe some of the Goonies, Scott Pilgrim, Mars Attacks. I could go on and on about this. Details wise, I'm not too sure when this is going to go for pre-order. I don't know how much it's going to cost, and I don't know the production numbers to dictate what the availability is going to be. But I will say, if you are on the fence, try to decide beforehand if you can, or within that small pre-order window of when it goes up. Rumble Society characters, traditionally, they waitlist very quickly. And with the possibility of Mezco trying to complete the crew or giving us variants like the remix versions, it's best to be prepared. And hopefully that this video has helped you decide if Vapor fits within your collection. I had a lot of fun doing this. I had a lot of fun doing this. I plan on doing more of these. Of course, they're not going to be advanced copies unless somebody decides to send me more. But I plan on doing more breakdowns and rundowns as well. Again, I really appreciate you guys watching this. My name is Paige. Thank you for being here for the very first episode of The Breakdown. Yeah, I know. It's not the best sign off, but hey, it's a work in progress and it's all I got right now until I come up with something better. So until next time, see you guys then.